It is Saturday morning. It is, what time is it? 9:45, and we are already dressed, fed, and en route to New York, specifically White Plains. And we are headed to White Plains today because we are going to go, well, Noah and I, not the kids, Noah and I are going to go through the process of getting our TSA PreCheck process completed. When we went to California in April, we were given TSA PreCheck status even though we've never gone through the application process. So I quickly Googled, how can we get TSA PreCheck status when we've never gone through the application process? And what I learned was it's actually a marketing tactic. So they offer it to people who are deemed low risk, you travel often. They granted TSA PreCheck to my entire family. We were in JFK on a Friday night. It was about 8 o'clock, and I'm not joking, we got through the security line in like 2.5 minutes. We didn't have to take off our shoes, we didn't have to take our laptops out of our bags, I don't think we had to take our jackets off. It was one of the best airport experiences I've ever had. So the marketing tactic worked because I went home and immediately signed us up for appointments. The online application process takes all of like 2 seconds, and then once you fill out the sort of like pre-application, then you sign up for an appointment at one of the centers that does this process. And there's centers all over the place. We needed a place that offered Saturday appointments, so we had a bit of a wait. So as of June 9th, 2018, it's not available on all airlines and at all airports. It is something that is continuously evolving and growing. Also, this is only a US program. This is a United States program, which means if you are traveling overseas, do not expect to be able to skip the line at an airport in Rome or an airport in London. It's not going to happen. This is just for the United States. So we've been on trips where people are saying, oh, but I have TSA PreCheck. It also does not allow you to skip the lines at the gate, people. We've seen lots of people who are like, but I have TSA PreCheck, and they're trying to cut the line to get on the airplane. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. That's not what it's for.
Disclaimer, the airport can shut down the TSA PreCheck line at their discretion. It's too late, low staff, whatever the reason may be, you might get there and the TSA PreCheck line will not be in action.
As I mentioned before, you don't have to take your laptop out of your bag. You don't have to take your shoes off. I think if you have a jacket on, you can leave that on. I know all of these things sound really small, but think about it this way. If you're traveling during busy seasons, right, you're gonna have a mix of people who travel all the time and people who don't travel very often. And so the people who don't travel very often don't have their process down packed, right? They're going to be fumbling at the security line with taking things out of their bag. They're going to have things in there that they can't even take with them. Yeah, they're going to, and it's understandable, right? I mean, that was us before we started traveling on a regular basis. So those are the people who slow down the line because they're just not familiar with the process, right? If you ever been in a line and seen another security line next to you that's completely empty or only has like maybe 5 people, that is the TSA PreCheck line. And that is the line that we want to be on every time we travel, because I'm not joking, this thing pays for itself. The process, so from what I understand, we're going to go into this center. There's going to be some questions asked of us. We are going to be fingerprinted. There is going to be a background check. And then I think the approval process can take anywhere between a few days to a few weeks. We're not concerned about it. We have a trip in July. If we can't get through TSA PreCheck on that trip, it's not a big deal because there are other people traveling with us who don't have it, and I'm not gonna just like wave bye to them and go through the line and let them stay on the other line. He would do that. I won't do that.
Bye, Felicia.
That's nice. If your children are 12 and under, you do not need to go through the application process with them and pay for it, because if you have TSA PreCheck status, they can travel with you, which is a nice perk. The cost for this is, I believe, this costs about $85, $89.
$1 million.
It's $85 or $89 for 5 years. I think that's pretty good. Again, after experiencing this just once, I feel it's worth it.
So
Yeah, so worth the money. You must be a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident, and you have to pass a background check. Noah, you know what? I should have checked with you.
You in this on your own. I'm probably gonna have to call a lawyer today. We'll see.
All right. What happens after you're approved? So you get something called a known traveler number. So there's no passport type book or some sort of like driver's license identification. You literally get what's called a known traveler number, and then every time you book your flight, you add this known traveler number to your reservation, and then that signals that you're approved for this. And then when you print your boarding pass, or bring your boarding pass up on your phone, you should have a TSA PreCheck icon somewhere on your boarding pass. And if you don't, then you have to go speak to someone in the airlines or give them a call, because if it's not on your boarding pass, even if you have it, you are not going to be allowed to use the TSA PreCheck line. So it's very important that it's on your boarding pass, and that you add your known traveler number to your reservations when making them. Otherwise, no one knows that you have this TSA PreCheck status. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be allowed to record in the building, but I will try to document as much as I can. Oh, maybe we should put a timer on how long the process is. I hear it's super short.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it.
All right, and then if you guys want to take bets that anything sketchy is going to come back up on Noah's background check, we could do that too.
There was that one time.
We actually did time how long it took to complete the process. For Noah, it was 2 minutes and 45 seconds. For me, it was 2 minutes and 35 seconds.
They had to fingerprint us, so I don't think they recognized my prints. I tried to burn them and take this, glue. You know the tricks. But they got it. They got me.
So basically, the process is super simple. You walk in, they scan your passport, you pay, you get fingerprinted, and it's not the old school fingerprinting with no ink. Yeah, like you literally put your fingers on a scanner, and then they hand you a receipt and say 2 to 3 weeks. 2 minutes and 35 seconds. It was $85, not $89, and it's good for 5 years. I think you can make an appointment online in 2 minutes and spend 2 minutes of your day to complete this process, which will make your life so much easier in the long run. If you travel a lot, you don't travel a lot and this is not your thing,
not worth it.
Don't even bother watching this video, but you're probably already watching to this point. Anyway, 2 minutes and 45 seconds, so worth it. Go. All right, let's get something to eat.
Let's go.
I'm hungry. One other thing I forgot to mention is we made appointments. Appointments aren't mandatory. You can walk in, although appointments get higher priority. Although I will say in the center that we just went to, I don't think the appointments mattered. But yes, just want to mention you can walk in. So maybe because the process is so short, if you're thinking about going on a lunch break because there's a center near you, you could. So last one, and then I'm gonna stop. You guys are gonna think I have stock in this like TSA PreCheck enrollment thing. I don't.
We should get a commission.
Making a quick stop at Sierra Trading Post at the request of Naya, who I think is, oh, she's back. Hey, she was sleeping. Naya wants to get some overalls, so we're gonna go see if they have any. She specifically requested Sierra Trading Post, and I don't object, because every time I go into Sierra Trading Post, I go to their shoe clearance section, and there's always a pair of shoes in a size 7 that...
Feel this?
I feel a bumpy road, yeah.
You have a fly.
Oh, I think you're right.
We are bread thieves.
I don't know about thieves, but definitely bread lovers. What are you guys doing right now?
Eating bread.
And why are we here eating bread? Because mommy caught a flat tire.
Yeah.
And now we have to wait for the tire to be repaired.
That too.
Yeah. A flat tire would have sent me like over he's super stressed. When he's this quiet, like not talking, stressed.
Mommy, hand him the fidget cube.
The fidget cube? Why?
Because that helps us stay.
Oh, you're right. All right. Now you hold that.
Daddy, you're gonna get the fidget cube, okay?
Yeah, we're gonna give you a stress reliever. Here you go, babe. That'll make you feel better.
We got alive, and we lost my brother.
So it turns out I got a flat on our way home from doing the TSA PreCheck, and they can't like patch or repair the tire. I have to buy a whole new tire, and normally that's not a big deal, but I have run flats, so they're a little bit more on the expensive side. A little bit. And I just bought another run flat like a few months ago, so unexpected cost, but it's okay. It's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. It's one run flat that I have to replace. 2 days.
Can you get after here? Thank you.
I see our car. Our car's at the end. Our car's at the end.
So to make our Saturday a little bit more interesting, we now have to drive home. Luckily, we're close to home, but we do need to drive home at like
2 miles an hour so everybody sees you.
Oh my God.
I'm waiting here like,
why would you say that?
Like freaking so close.
Okay.
So we're good. We're flopping home.
We're gonna flop home. Tell everybody where we just had lunch.
The Voley's Pizza.
And what did you think of it? Hi, Tiny! Hey, who let you out? Hi, Mama! The adventures of our family. So we dropped off the car. New tire won't be in until Monday, so we're down to 1 car for the weekend.
I got Moose Munch.
Woo! And then because we were right next to Marshall's, we did a quick stop in Marshall's for Papaya to see if we could find her overalls, and we scored, right, Naya?
Yeah.
Moose Munch.
We found a pair of overall shorts.
And I got Moose Munch.
And he got his Moose Munch, which he buys every time we go into Marshall's if they have it.
Ooh.
And Tiny walked around with us inside the store. Public service announcement. It is now getting warm, and on some days, super hot. Do not leave your children and dogs in the car. Care how quick your trip into the store is. Do not leave your children and dogs in the car. It breaks my heart every time I read a story about children passing away because some idiot adult left them in the car. So please, people, do not leave your pets and children in cars. Thank you. Public service announcement over.
That's a fact, Jack.
That's true for a busy day. I don't like my Saturdays to be like this. I like my Saturdays to be like Netflix and chill and edit videos and eat Scooby snacks all day.
Netflix and chill.
Scooby snacks.
Scooby snacks. Yeah, that's how I like my Saturday and Sunday. All this running around,
That's for the week.
I mean, that's the norm for most people. I try to do my stuff during the weekdays. Like, I will do laundry during the week. We will buy groceries during the week because I don't want to do this on the weekend when everyone else is doing it and running around at the same time. That just drives me bananas. So, clearly cleaned up. Dropped the kids off with grandma, and there's another car of my family members on the way to the city because we're all gonna meet up at the restaurant. We tried to jump in their car, but there was no room. We're tired, running around all day. But the food's supposed to be good, so that makes up for it. Nice pop of orange behind your head, brings out your eyes.
I could use a nap.
Yeah, me too. I did have a nap. I actually napped on the way.
Lucky you.
I know.
I did too.
I'll buy you a cocktail. How about that?
Cocktail.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yay, dinner. I'm excited about dinner. I'm just tired.
Did you get a look at the menu?
I did.